When you picture Athens, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's all about epic history, right? Grand ideas, legendary philosophers, and these massive monuments that have been standing for thousands of years. It's a city built on a truly incredible scale. And of course, the heart of it all is the Acropolis. You've got this incredible rocky hill with the Parthenon watching over the city. Millions of people every single year walk these exact grounds, and their eyes are always drawn upward to the sky, to those huge columns and stunning architecture. But what if I told you that one of the Acropolis's most amazing residents is almost never seen? That there's a secret life form that's thriving right under the feet of all those millions of visitors, totally hidden in plain sight? To find it, you have to completely change your perspective. You have to look down. No, I mean way down. Tucked away between the pebbles and the ancient dust, you'll find this. It might look like just a tiny speck, almost nothing, but this little plant has an absolutely incredible story of survival and discovery. So, what exactly is this miniature marvel? Well, I think it's about time we had a proper introduction to the Acropolis's tiniest and maybe most unlikely inhabitant. Okay, so its fancy botanical name is Crassula tillaea, but its common name, moss stonecrop, kind of says it all. It looks just like a little piece of moss growing on the stones. But here's the twist. It's not moss at all. It's actually a succulent, a cousin of those popular jade plants you might have at home. And this is where you really get a sense of just how small we're talking. On the left, there it is in its natural home, and on the right, that's the same plant right next to a 1-cent euro coin. It is just unbelievably tiny, which, of course, is exactly why almost no one ever notices it. So let's break this little guy down. It only grows between 1 and 5 centimeters long. That's it. Its little fleshy leaves can be green, or they can turn this beautiful deep red, especially when they get a lot of sun. And get this, its flowers are less than 2 millimeters wide. Just try to imagine that. To top it all off, it's a short-lived annual. It completes its entire life story from sprout to flower in a single season. And this quote from the source material just perfectly sums up the whole challenge. You literally have to get down on your hands and knees on a level with the dirt just to be able to spot it. It forces you to see a world-famous historical site in a completely new way. And here is what's so surprising to botanists. When you hear the name Crassula, you're probably thinking of those big, chunky succulents from Africa. So finding out that this tiny, delicate, mossy-looking thing belongs to that same family, that is a genuine shock. It's like finding out a tiny field mouse is a close relative of a grizzly bear. But hey, don't let its size fool you into thinking it's delicate, or that it just stays put. This little plant is a serious world traveler. Its story goes way, way beyond the walls of Athens. Yeah, its home base is definitely the Mediterranean, but it has managed to spread far and wide. You can find it across most of Europe, though sadly it's now thought to be extinct in Germany. It's also popping up along the coast of England, and it's even made the journey all the way to the west coast of the United States as an immigrant species. From Portugal to Turkey to Libya, this tiny survivor has found a way to make a home for itself. Okay, now we get to the really exciting part. You think a city like Athens, a place that's been studied for thousands of years, wouldn't have any more botanical secrets to give up. Well, you'd be wrong. Turns out, recent fieldwork has started uncovering brand new spots where Crassula tillaea is living, which just goes to show you that discovery can happen anywhere, even in the middle of a huge modern city with all that history. The first new find was right here in the ancient Agora. I mean, this was the central hub of classical Athens, the marketplace, the social center. And now we know that hiding among the very same ruins where Socrates might have walked, the moss stonecrop has been there all along, a tiny, silent witness to history. The next discovery was even more of a surprise. For the first time ever, the plant has been found on Akropolis Hill. This is the highest point in all of Athens. It's just wild to think about this tiny little succulent surviving all the way up there, totally exposed to the wind and sun, with a bird's eye view of the entire city. But as incredible as those finds are, the most jaw-dropping discovery wasn't at Athens at all. Researchers followed a lead to a place that would totally change everything they thought they knew about how this plant could grow. Welcome to a place called Astros. Here,
Crassula tilla doesn't just grow in little patches here and there. No, it forms these vast, dense colonies. We're talking literal carpets of green and red that just cover the ground. It is an absolutely stunning sight, and it shows what this plant is capable of.
And when you get up close, you can see it's made of thousands upon thousands of these individual tiny plants, all growing together, creating this lush miniature forest. This discovery really proves that given the right conditions, this plant we thought was so fragile is actually an incredibly successful and dominant species. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it's really an invitation, isn't it? An invitation to change how we see the world, to look not just at the big picture, but at the incredible, miniature world right at our feet.
We've gotten on this amazing journey, from a single plant you could barely see on the Acropolis, all the way to these massive, thriving carpets of them by the sea. It just proves that there's this whole hidden, vibrant world that comes to life if we just know how to look for it.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. We spend so much of our lives looking up, at the monuments, the buildings, the big things. But what amazing stories of survival and beauty are playing out completely unnoticed right beneath our shoes? What tiny wonders are you walking past every single day?